And he was just like, yeah. Oh, and you left-handed? Like, once he noticed that I was writing with my left hand. Wow. He's like, yeah, I want to put a baby in you. What the fuck? That's all I said was like, yeah, my response is like, yeah, no. And he's like, just kidding, I'm 40 years old. What I look like having another kid? And I'm like, what? What is this? What is this? I'm back. This is I'm Just Sharing with Shonda, and I'm Shonda, and I'm sharing today. I just wanted to start it off with last weekend of my not being able to post. It was very frustrating because my audio, it was just not, there wasn't a connection between what I was loading up. So it was too late. I had it all day waiting to upload on Thursday, and then nothing happened. So I was like, darn. That's just the way how it is, and this is just the way how it goes. My first time just being very frustrated. I don't know what stress like feels like. I actually, the day that I almost got hacked, that was stressful, very stressful. But this time it was just a frustrating time because I'm just like I'm ready. Like I have all this stuff ready, but nothing happened. I wasn't able to upload. So I'm back in biz. But before I was back in biz, a couple days ago, I was setting up and my lighting fell forward. In front of that was the camera, and the camera fell forward to its face and the lens like bent in. So I was a little bit upset about that, and it looked like it could just pop back right into place. So I'm like, but it was stuck. It was stuck. And when I turned on my camera, it's like the lens isn't recognizable. So I was just like, shoot. Went to Micro Center. Micro Center was like, we don't have, Sony camera lenses. And he directed me to the photo supply and store somewhere. And I called first, and the guy was like, I just sold my last one. And I'm like, all right, cool. Are you going to get in later? He said, yeah, later. So like later today. And then he was just like, oh no, not later today, later another day. And I'm like, okay, great. I go to Best Buy. They didn't have it. So Amazon. And I have my new camera lens. So I'm happy. I'm not out of commission. So I'm happy that I'm recording. But what I wanted to get into with my think piece was for my customers to understand my position, okay? Because I have difficulty in trying to understand what customers see. I have my name tag that says my name, and underneath of that says manager. But I have a lot of customers, and it's mostly my male customers that come in and feel that this is just an establishment that I'm just sitting in, and they feel that they can flirt with me and say inappropriate things, like very, very inappropriate things. But I think when I have a good day and I'm happy to sell and I'm excited about selling, the customers just feel like that's flirtation in some way, and it's completely wrong. I don't understand how they get that. So and like recently I just had a customer come in store, and his phone was broken. He was looking to get a prepaid phone. So he was working with one of my reps, and he like just like, yeah, hey, what's up? How you doing? I'm like, yeah, how are you? And I kept it all professional, all business. And he was just like, yeah. And it was just so weird. This is an older guy. I don't know his age, but he was just older. And he said, yeah, you the boss? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a manager. Thanks. He's like, right. You the boss. Like, you the boss. I'm like, yeah, sure. And then like anytime that he was flirting with me, I talked about the phone. I talked about the plan that he had to have. And I was just like, yeah, all that. And then it got even more weird because he said, he was just like, oh, like, y'all hiring? And this is a man that, like, I believe he was in construction and contracting, and he's, y'all hiring? I'm like, yeah, not at this location. And he's just like, oh yeah, like, I would love to work with you, just so I can talk to you. And I'm like, well, you understand that if you did work in this establishment, that it would only be work related, nothing else, because anything else would be like deemed inappropriate. So it's better off to you just to come in as a customer and we can have a conversation about phones. And he was just like, nah, but you don't get what I'm saying. I clearly got what he was saying. But he just felt that it was just better that he can just come in and feel that he could just flirt with me. And I'm just like, bro, what is this? Like, I'm keeping it all professional with you, guy. And I do with every guy that comes in. I am professional. I never give off like I'm flirting with you to a customer. Now, there are some customers when you know that I'm flirting, and it's just for fun. It's just to have fun. But for the people that I'm not, and that's completely professional, very inappropriate things. I had a guy come in and he had jeans on and he was just like, yeah, I like those jeans. So I was like, obviously he's looking down. He's like, yeah, they fit perfectly your thighs. I would like to see your thighs outside of those jeans. I'm like, yeah, no, for work purposes, we have to wear jeans and, it's really, really cold in here. So I just prepare for that. But thanks. And then he was just like, yeah, I want to like take you out somewhere. You don't even have to have your jeans on. You can show those thighs. I want to see what those like brown thighs look like. I'm like, and it's just me in store. My reps weren't there yet. Timing. And I don't know, I just get a little bit frustrated at myself. And I just read the learning boundaries that I'm preparing myself to say, like, just the word inappropriate. And I'll leave it at that. I can elaborate more with customers, but before this situation happened, I didn't have that book. So I just didn't know how to respond. So with him saying that, it got worse. It got worse because his next thing, like he talked about his daughter, and the way how he like described it, I got a beautiful brown skinned chocolate daughter. And I'm like, cool. And I'm like, okay, she's going to school. How old is she? She's 22. Yeah, she's a left-handed person. Something about left-handed people, they interested. I am left-handed. And yeah, I didn't write anything. I didn't want him to know that I was left-handed, but then I had to end up like giving him a number to, I think, another store or a Shurian or something like that. But it was just a little bit tough. And he was just like, yeah, oh, and you left-handed? Like once he noticed that I was writing with my left hand. Wow. He's like, yeah, I want to put a baby in you. What the fuck? That's all I said was like, yeah, my response is like, yeah, no. And he's like, just kidding, I'm 40 years old. What I look like having another kid? And I'm like, oh, gosh, what is this? What is this? He ended up leaving. And my rep came in like shortly after that. And I was just telling him about that whole experience. And he was just like, it was wild. And I said, it's just crazy the way how, me being a manager at the store, that my position is not, it's not really acknowledged. And it's just they look at me and it's just like there's this girl, this beautiful girl, that I'm going to say anything to. They don't keep it professional with me. Like I don't think they see that where I work is a professional place. Like, and I'm like, this is what you do, man. You need help. You need help learning how to communicate properly to to women, and reading the room and reading me as a person, as if I'm keeping it. I don't want anything to talk about after that. I'm talking to you about your account, about what phone you want, and just future promotions, and making sure that you come back for the phone, like reasons for your phone. Not anything other than that. It's nothing that involves me outside of my work. Nothing else. Like I hate that customers see me in that way. I want to get better at saying, like, you know what, that made me uncomfortable. That was inappropriate, and I'm slowly getting there. So that's why I said I really just want to say, as soon as they say it, inappropriate. And then if I have to elaborate more, I'm going to get the courage to say no. Like, what you just said was just completely wrong, and I don't want to work with you. So I'll keep it at that. And I guess with me fixing that too is just making sure that I have another person in the store with me, a male. So like, I think that could help for sure. But it just is, I just don't see how. I don't see how, because I never ever give it off for it to be received. It just comes at me like every time. I should write them down every time it happens, but it just crosses on. I just want them out the store at this point. But we move on, going towards like my friendships and understanding that relationship, with getting new friends and understanding what this person is going to be to me later on in the future. If I'm dating, and establishing something and telling your intentions in the beginning is great. So like seeing how that goes, and then just seeing how the relationship progresses. I appreciate all my friends that are in my life and my sisters that are in my life, but then also establishing boundaries and what I see you as. For friends, including my male friends, like I like hanging out with the guys. They're cool. I love hanging out with the girls. They're awesome. Both bring different aspects in my life, and that's been nice. But like figuring out where we are and then the process of it, because you start off as friends and then you're close friends and you end up being best friends, male or female, like it doesn't matter. I just feel like that's the way how it goes, and then seeing how it benefits you in the long run. So friends are awesome sauce. But when they see me as like, Shonda, like you're a cool person because of this, that, and the third, they see me. They see my position, they see where I can stand in their lives, vice versa. So like, I like when that happens in the beginning. So I think that when it does come to work, I can establish in the beginning of a transaction, like, hey, I'm the manager of the store. If there's anything that you need about your account, and about what you're in store for, then I can help you with that. Anything else, we're not going to indulge. I want to keep this professional. So I guess like that's the kind of conversation that I have to have. Since it's come so easily with friends, I can do that with my customers. That's just my whole piece right there. That's my think piece. So let's just move on to my random thought. And my random thought today, I was on my way home from work Monday, and I've seen this older woman. I can't put an age on her, but she definitely had gray hair, glasses, very up to the steering wheel, in a blue Honda. And it's like a baby blue Honda. And it was just funny seeing her on the road, and you have all these like black cars, silver cars, like a dark red, and you just see this baby blue Honda, and driving. So some older people, and I know understanding when they're on the road that it takes time. Their muscles aren't the same. They don't have that same strength to really get that foot on the gas and go. So I understand that. But this particular lady in this car was using her blinker, communicating on the road where she wanted to go, and zooming, like weaving in and out of these cars. And I'm trying to keep up with her. You know how, like, when you get that one person and you just stay on the move, right? And you're right on the move with them. Like, you got it. That's the perfect connection on the road that you can have with another person. That it's just like, we're going the same type of route, but you got it with the weaving in and out safely, might I add, and that I'm happy to follow you. With me, I was all the way on the right side. She was sort of kind of towards not in the left lane, but the one that's like somewhat right in the middle. It was 4. So before it was 3 lanes. So she's there and she's gone, and I'm in front of this person who just doesn't know what they're doing. And I'm just like, wow, my kind of woman. That's my kind of older woman that I would like to see on the road every time. Every time. But while we're still on the topic of on the road, it makes me think about my younger folks, my mid folks that like to text and drive. And it's very irritating for the people who like to text and drive because accidents can happen. People assume that they're great at texting, and you're just not. You are not. Nobody is. But what devices and companies make this easy to do that is the microphone that's right in the speech, right at the bottom, speech to text. Easiest thing. It does not matter to correct it. The person on the other end can get what you're saying. But the speech to text, all you have to do is just press that microphone, say what you need to say, and then send it off. Don't even have to read it. Because in the beginning, you could be like, look, I'm not texting and driving. I'm using my microphone. Say what you have to say. And if the words don't come out, sorry. That should be in the text. And then just send it off. It's a second. Okay? And I know seconds can happen. Anything can happen in seconds. But I feel, and especially if you have a, what is it? The holder for your phone. Oh my gosh, why am I the mount for your phone, especially if you have that. It's a glance at the send after you do your speech to text, and then hit it. Send it off. It doesn't matter what it says in there. The person is still going to get it. But I really, really want people to use that feature because it's life-saving. It saves you from accidents. It saves you from accidents. And I think people just don't play around with their phones, and that's another irritating thing because, like, these are devices that are going to stick with you for the rest of your life. Like, these are your companions until you get a new one, but they're always going to be there. Some type of phone is going to be there for you. So I want you to play around with your phone. Remember what you're doing, because if you mess up, at least you can be like, all right, I know how I got here. But play around with your phone, understand the phone, and use it. Use it to the best of your ability. Now, am I practicing that now? Yes, because there were close calls. There were close calls. And so many people have close calls and get right back into it. But then when an accident actually happens, it probably might change nobody wants to admit that they were texting and driving. But when all the legal stuff is all out the way and you're on the road again, maybe it lasts for about a week before you're doing it all over again. And it's like, man, can you learn your lesson the first time that texting and driving is not safe? And I believe that the speech to text is a little bit more safer than glancing at your phone and trying to look up and down and look up and down look up at the road at a car and then looking down at a letter to press. Maybe I'm just bundled up in all this of being safe and always wanting to stay safe. But I understand that people just feel that it's a priority, that they need to get a text out and communicate with people because this is all the connection that we have. But to me, do it in a safe way. And that's using the microphone, speech to text. what a random thought, like, please let me know in the comments or email me, because I'm very curious if people feel the same way. Now I'm just going to move on to appreciating the little things. And what I appreciate is competition. I appreciate competition. When it comes to work, it's really cool when there is like a competition between my sales rep or different stores, or if my higher ups have like an incentive going that, we can earn extra money. It's very exciting. But for me, outside of work, I am a huge tennis fan. But before I get into tennis, let me just say I did social wise start a small competition with a person that is on Instagram. Now, he doesn't know this, but I know that he knows this, because I feel like he mentally knows that we compete. And I find it more fun because it makes me upload more and just makes me feel good that he saw what I put out, and he knows who he is. He saws what I put out, and then I feel like he always try to one up me. So I would post a picture, then he would post a picture, and I'm like, all right, cool, point for him, point for me. Then he would post another picture, and I'm like, okay, another point. All right, now there's me. I feel like the quality in my pictures, I feel like, double points or whatever, but I keep it as just a picture. So I said another point, I catch up. But then I do a video. So I'm like, 5 points. 5 points, sucker. And then like he would post a video, and I just feel that he knows that we are in competition with each other, and it's just fun. It's fun. That part. Okay. But then let's move on to tennis. I've been watching tennis. It was just the US Open. Now, I love Carlos Alcaraz. Yeah. And he's just a awesome player. Like, to me, he is, I don't even know how to describe him, a bullet that you just can't stop. He is awesome. Like, my favorite dude is Djokovic. He's my number one player for sure. And then it was Nadal and Alcaraz. Alcaraz moved to my number 2. Nadal's out on an injury, so it's okay. But Alcaraz went up against Tommy Paul, and Tommy Paul is a U.S. player, and then Alcaraz, oh my gosh, I forgot who he reps for. Spain, I believe. Don't quote me on it. My fault, y'all. But him, you know how you root for somebody. Now, I root for a player because I love Alcaraz, and his play is awesome. And then you have my player that's a U.S. team. I'm like, U.S. It's a win-win, but it's a win that it was Tommy Paul who won against Alcaraz. It would have been a win-win if my favorite, my top player won, but it's okay. I love Tommy Paul when I seen his. I just love the sport of tennis. But I also wanted to say that the mindset of tennis players, it's a one-on-one sport. Like, I watch the singles. Like, doubles are cool, but singles, the emotions that they suppress when they're playing this game, and they can get a point, get it, and their reset is by looking at their racks, looking at the racket, and playing with it to reset in their mind, like, okay, I just got that point, but I need to still focus. I have 6 games to win 3 times, and not showing any emotion until the end is crazy insane to me, because it's nothing but focus. And like, this is a different person that you're playing, but technically I'm playing a version of myself. How can I get past this person? How can I get past me? Different techniques on that side. My side is a little bit more forceful, whatever. How can I get past that? It's just awesome. The way how the game of tennis is just so superb. I'm also a tennis player myself. So if anybody's looking to play, I'm here, or whatever. Just kidding. But no, let me just get back to like what I'm saying about this sport. It's just amazing. I love competition. I love the game. I love just the mentality of a sport and mentality of another person playing. Like, you're just in the zone. And I love athletes. Tennis athletes at that. Hopefully this wasn't all over the place, because I'm back at it and I got the jitters, but that's okay. I'm just happy that I'm recording again, and I'll make sure that I'm on top of this. So that leads me to say, please rate, like, comment, and subscribe. I am on Apple and Spotify, and I am on YouTube at I Am Just Sharing with Shonda. And please share with me anything at imjustsharingpod@gmail.com. And I'm happy. See you guys.